Now, I have absolutely no idea what to expect from this match, but I'm really excited to be casting it, and let me try and explain to you why that is. So, as you may be aware, just a couple of days ago, sometime last week, I ended up uploading a video where I casted a game that one of you submitted. It was a low-level game, and it was very, very enjoyable to watch. And in the video, I mentioned as well that you can now go ahead and submit your craziest matches to replays at LowkoTV. Now, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really expect a whole lot of you to actually, submit games, but within 24 hours of that video going live, over 100 individual emails were sent over, and some of you submitted several games as well. And the wonderful Motless is one of the Twitch moderators and a friend of mine ended up looking through the replays, and he selected the ones that he thought were absolutely amazing. So massive shout out to Motless is for helping me out right there. But he said that this game made him do a double take and that it's absolutely amazing. So I have no idea what to expect here. But anyways, let's introduce the players. Spawning in the bottom left corner of Proxima Station, we have the gold level Terran known as Asheton, and he is sending out an SCV very early out across the map actually, but there are some rocks here, so there's not a whole lot of scouting you can do over there. And in the meantime, we go— hold on. I was gonna say, is he gonna proxy a barracks or something? But I wanted to introduce the Zerg player real quick, but there's actually a proxy command center going down right now, right outside of the Zerg's main— okay, we'll see what that is in just a little bit. In the meantime, we got a Zerg player right here spawning in the top right corner of Proxima. He is a silver level Zerg. I'm excited for this, and he is known as Zaknatur. Now, what exactly are the options here for the Terran player, right? So, I think I know what this is. There is an engineering bay here at the front, but more importantly, there are double gases going down. I have seen this a couple of times before, way back in the day, during the Wings of Liberty times, but I think this may very well be a Planetary Fortress rush. This used to be something that some players would do in crazy matches, but considering he's got the engineering bay here, he may very well decide to do so. Now, there are some links here as well. Of course, I am a little worried there actually, because there's no defenses at the front, although it looks like the links are trying to bypass here, going for those rocks that I mentioned just now. You can indeed knock those down to go very quickly into your opponent's bases, but here we go, that command center rather is done, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for the planetary here. I mean, both players saving up a lot of resources. The Zerg in the meanwhile has got that roach warren done, so he will actually be able to defend quite easily if he decides to build the roaches. But I mean, that command center is already in his main base. Before the 3-minute mark, he's dropping off the SCV. What's he gonna do with that? Build a missile turret? Haha, that's brilliant. Okay, so the Planetary Fortress, he has to go for planetary. There's no way it's not. Oh, there it is morphing in, and the thing is, if there's nothing to defend, I mean, 3 roaches are just about to spawn. That will actually do quite a bit of hurt, but you can repair this for all of infinity for— oh no, he's actually bypassing with the roaches. So the Zerg is knocking down the rocks here at the back of the Terran's base, sending the roaches across as well. I was gonna say, you can repair this command center for a very long time, and the planetary won't really go down, and apparently the planetary is finishing up. It's finishing up right now already, and that's gonna start dealing damage right here to that mineral line that will be able to do so much hurt. There we go, it's done. It's starting to shoot at that gas, guys. A couple of roaches once again spawning. Will they decide to hit it? Nope. Looks like they are gonna be bypassing as well, and in the meantime, a barracks is being produced too. Now, I love this. The high-sec auto-tracking, I believe, is what this upgrade is called. You barely ever see it in professional matches, but it adds an additional 1 range to, for example, a Planetary Fortress or a missile turret. It's extremely good in these kind of scenarios, and that gas ends up falling. Now, of course, there is not enough range here. I wonder if there is going to be enough range to hit that mineral line once the— no, actually, the high-sec auto-tracking did just finish up, which is a little bit of a shame, because there's no additional range now on this planetary. But with that barracks finishing up and more missile turrets, I'm starting to be a little bit worried. But, of course, the rocks will end up going down, and all of these roaches are moving across the map. Now, the Terran is aware of this fact, but I don't really know exactly what he's got in store for us here as a follow-up, because there's no defenses here at home at all. I mean, there's no barracks here. Looks like he may very well be trying to get another command center going here. I mean, he's got the resources for it. I wonder if that is going to be the case. He had to very least start mining here, but the rocks are already down. And with that planetary done, actually, there's the newest 2 upgrade now as well, which adds additional armor to all Terran buildings. Haven't seen that research either in such a long time, but anyway, look at that. Here's the roaches and all of the Zerglings, and I wonder what the Terran's got in store for us. He's immediately loading up the command center in the main, and he's lifting up, and he's getting on out of there. There we go. fly, little SCVs. Get on out of there, my man. You really need to try and get to safety. I wonder what he's gonna install. In the meanwhile, Zegnatur did manage to squeeze a drone out, and apparently he's now got an expansion on the other side of the map, but I'm a little worried here. This setup is scary, yeah. There we do indeed see the factory being lifted up, and of course, with that tech lab, it can start producing siege tanks. Now look at the amount of SCVs. That SCV count is actually very legit. He can repair things for all of eternity here, but he does need some mining if he wants to continue onwards. Now, of course, that command center is moving across the map. I don't know exact... Is it head... Oh my god, it's actually headed to this expansion right here. The one that Zegnatur has already set up as well. And actually, the SCVs that were built here are now going to start mining from the in-base expansion of the Zerg. But that first siege tank is just about to come out, and this position here is very difficult for the Zerg player to push into. I mean, what's the plan? He's getting... Ooh, he's getting himself the roly-poly upgrade. The one that, it's called centrifugal hooks. It allows the banelings to start rolling and get 5 more HP. But I mean, that's not gonna do a whole lot, because he's only mining from a single gas geyser. And while he does have a couple of drones in production now as well for this newly acquired hatch, and all of the Zerg units are indeed returning at home now that they've cleaned up everything, there's a siege tank's out. And that siege tank indeed has ridiculous range, and it can start hitting away at that lair, and that damage is gonna be sustained. Here we go, the Lynx and the Banes are moving forward, of course. Oh my god, that planetary positioning and that bunker positioning is actually legit. Like, this may very well be a professional Planetary Fortress rusher right here, because that positioning was spot on. He ended up losing absolutely nothing, repair in time as well. But of course, the command center found out now about this hidden hatchery right here on the eastern side of the map, and I'm starting to be a little bit worried. Now, there are quite a lot of Lynx and Roaches here, but of course, siege tanks do eat armored units for breakfast, and there we go. They are indeed moving up to the ramp. Planetary Fortress in range now as well, and look at all of that damage output trying to get the repair. I think one siege tank indeed does end up falling, but I mean, look at that. They do 70 damage per shot to armored units, like for example Roaches, and that did so much and immediately shut it down. He's still mining from this. I love this. This is a crazy wild game, and I mean, looking at it from this angle though, I gotta give the upper hand here to Terran. I mean, what is Zerg really gonna do? He's got no way of escorting the drones out of there, no Nidus worms, no like Overlord drop play or whatever, so these drones are basically toast already, and with more siege tanks joining this fight, this could get really tricky really fast. He's even leapfrogging this siege tank forward even more. But look at these. These Zerglings do not have attack upgrades or any Zergling speed for that matter. So that means that they will be able to, you know, maybe take out one siege tank. But that was not cost efficient. And that base is practically done here already. Now, Zegnatur, he's building up a spire and a spawning pool on the other end of the map. What exactly does he have in mind here? Because, of course, I mean... Wait, is there more Zerglings going to town? You gotta stop producing those Lynx, Zegnatur. They're not achieving a whole lot. Unless you're gonna try and sneak them out or something. But I think we need more drones. And actually, he's starting to mine gas now. Now, of course, this command center did still finish up as well. Is he gonna end up landing here? And, like, he could actually just, like, simply kill this base. Just with the SCVs. It looks like that is not going to be the case, as he may very well start mining from another base here very shortly. You should just send these SCVs on attack move. I mean, you got 5 versus like 5 here. I mean, that's pretty okay. Anyway, the command center, or the hatchery does end up falling here, and all of those units are pretty much gone now. Asheton does have a very solid amount of supply here, all things considered. I mean, apparently that barracks is also being repaired up just in case, because that clearly needed more HP. But regardless, the spire is done. I mean, he can start producing Mutalisk, but I mean, he gets, well, I mean, he's got no gas, he's got no mineral income, like barely any for either, but so really does the Terran. I mean, what is Terran exactly going to do? So, just to recap so far, right? The Terran has taken over the Zerg's main base, and while he is long distance mining, he's got a couple more SCVs from his main command center that has since flown across the map, but the Zerg is not out of this match just yet. He's actually producing a lot of queens, which I like quite a bit, but I'm starting to be a little bit worried here. Now, apparently a Bane tried sneaking by or whatever, did not end up doing a whole lot, and at this point, I mean, the Terran is ahead, right? What does Zerg really have? Of course, he does know about this expansion, but if he gives the Zerg here too much time, there is a chance that Zerg will be able to start getting back into this game. I mean, I like the fact that he's not leaving just yet. There are 4 queens out. They are capable of defending against all of this, because, I mean, as long as that planetary is not fighting, you know, all of these queens, they're going to be able to take out that one siege tank just fine. And slowly, the Zerg is building up economy again. Now, of course, you are aware of the fact that Zerg can indeed mass-produce links and drones very quickly. And with this many drones here, I'm starting to be a little tiny bit worried for Eschaton, because he did have a one-step plan, right? But he doesn't really have a follow-up, it seems like. I mean, sure, he's building up another engineering bay once again, so I guess he still wants to get... I don't think he finished up the new steel upgrade. I think the roaches may have killed it before it finished up that research. But what exactly is the plan now for Eschaton? I mean, he had a one-step plan, but for the moment, it seems to have been shut down. And Zerg still adding on so many drones. He's still droning. He's actually got a superior economy right now to his opponent, even though the Terran does have more SCVs in general. They're just so long distance mining. But there is some gas income going up as well. I love the fact that he's only got 3. Actually, just now he had 3 and 3 in gas there. But of course, when you're mining at this distance, you can use a ton more than just 3 SCVs. But regardless, I wonder what his plan is here and what either of these players are gonna follow this up with. Of course, Zerg is like, he's aware of this base. He knows that this base is up. He knows very well that this is going on. And he's making another planetary. Yes! He's getting another planetary fortress to try and start nuking away at this gas here as well. Now, there are no missile turrets. So, like, a single queen, like a single mutalist could just shut this down altogether. But there are no mutas out on the map yet. Zerg, get your mutas out. If you build a spire, use it for something. I guess he was just worried of, like, losing his lair and losing all of his tech. So he just built up one of the buildings that he could and decided to call it a day. Still more and more SCVs going down as well, trying to mine out the Zerg's old main base. But that planetary is done now. And that queen will be done very shortly as well if she's not pulled back to safety. Queen, get out of there! And the queen's dead. The queen is dead. Now, there are some links here as well. Of course, these SCVs here in the back. Oh no, queen, get out of there! Good. These SCVs here in the back can easily repair this for such a long time. But once again, we see that Baneling switch. Now, the Baneling nest is just about to die. It's losing HP very, very rapidly. It's at 100 right now, dropping below. And these are the last Banes, I think, that this game will see. Unless, like, another one gets rebuilt. Now, actually, the SCVs are cheekily mining from this expansion as well. But these are not enough Banes. This is not enough Banes to blow up a command center. I mean, you got this... Oh my god, he's just building more. He's just building more. That... Oh man, no, the Baneling nest is done for. The Baneling nest is done for. It's got 5 HP. RIP. Rest in peace. And with that, the spawning pool as well. Now, there is already a replacement for the spawning pool. Not entirely sure if Zerg is gonna try and start rebuilding this one. He is getting himself another hatchery, which is on the other end of the map, on the in-base expansion location of the Terran's old main. What? Alright, I see why Motlis mentioned that this game is a little bit on the crazy end. In the meantime, Eschaton setting himself up with a starport now as well. He's still got that siege tank, using that for defensive purposes. Because of course, I mean, link speed is done now. There are actually quite a lot of Zerg units out. I mean, he's got the economy to really start supporting this. And there's the additional gases going down now as well. No, oh my god, look at all that damage. That planetary may very well end up falling. Although, the queens are not helping. Queens, get in there! Queens, get in there! Help your brethren! Help your... Use your units! Oh no. Oh no, and that SCV, they are in the back, even though apparently the rest of them did end up leaving, or they may have ended up dying as well. That one SCV that was just now building up that starport decided to cancel that and just start repairing this planetary for the time being. Now Zerg once again adding on more Zerglings, but he's throwing away so much, he actually just ended up canceling them as well. And finally... He figured it out. There's no anti-air here. Planetary fortresses do not shoot up. He's got the Spire units coming in. The Mutalisks are on the production tab. Now, of course, this base is going to be free reign for the time being. I mean, there's 3 missile turrets that will be able to defend that. He could actually shut down mining from here, but at least these SCVs are going to have to pay for this with their lives. And actually, Zerg is slowly crawling his way back into this game. I mean... He took out a bunch of gases here. He's trying to get some additional workers now as well. He's getting one more command center, or one more hatchery rather. But look at this. This is what we wanted to see for so long already. The mutas are out. He's controlling them, setting all of his efforts on trying to snipe these SCVs. And here we are. The planetary is still desperately trying to produce a whole lot of stuff. A Viking is just about to finish up. Now 2 mutas should be enough, but he's actually target firing down. He's target firing the starport. Stop attacking the starport. Okay, good. Okay, good. I was gonna say, if you're gonna kill if that one Viking would kill everything, that would be a shame. But here we go. All right, so eventually another SCV does get produced as well, and we're once more seeing that continuation here of the killing of the starport. Now, planetary fortresses cannot be lifted up. Of course, orbital commands can, but planetaries can. So this one is as good as dead as it is right now. But I mean, look at the amount of economy now. Zerg is actually starting to mine slowly a much bigger amount. Mutas are starting to deal some damage here as well. One of them, alright, there we go. One of the SCVs apparently did end up living to tell that tale as well for at least a little while longer. He's desperately trying to get himself a missile turret up. Of course, Zerg can see this, and he does indeed respond in a timely manner. But I'm starting to be a little bit worried here for Asheton. I mean, Asheton ended up cannon rushing his opponents, or not cannon rushing, sorry, this is like the Terran's equivalent of a Terran rush for that matter, or for a cannon rush rather, but he ended up, wow, he ended up Planetary Fortress rushing his opponent's main base. It worked out, all of the Zerg stuff got killed there, but in the meantime, a single drone made a hatchery over here and started a completely new expansion. And, well, I wouldn't sacrifice the queens there, because this thing is still gonna end up falling. I think that for the first time in this game, we're gonna have to give the upper hand here to the Zerg, as sure, there's a lot of mining going on here, right? But Asheton is not producing a single thing. He's got over 1,000 minerals now. He's desperately trying to like sort of turtle himself into this old main base here of the Zerg. But ultimately, like, he needs units. He's not built a single marine this entire game. Am I crazy? There's not a single marine out this entire game. Please add on a couple of barracks here. Asheton, you got this, bro. Oh, and here we go. The mutas are going in exactly the location that I just talked about as well, where there is a lot of potential. And if he manages to shut down the mining, which it sure looks like he is doing, this base here from the main of the Zerg is indeed, or the old main of the Zerg, I guess I should say, is gonna run out of resources. And killing those depots will supply block the Terran player here as well. And I mean, more and more mining going on here on Zerg end, and I'm pretty sure that eventually, yeah, there we go, the supply block, eventually, the Zerg is actually getting out ahead. Now, Zerg, actually, did I just miss Saw, and did Zerg have those more than 1,000 resources earlier? I think I may have just not judged that correctly there. But regardless, I think that Zerg eventually is going to be able to overpower his opponent, even though he got Planetary Fortress rushed here in the earlier stages of the game. Nice little bit of responding there. I think that Planetary could have been dealt with much earlier with a little bit of proper mic. Now, of course, actually, this is not done just yet. No repair! You gotta repair! Oh! He could have actually still done so much work. I don't know if 6 mutas can kill a repaired Viking in time. I have no idea. Asheton did not appreciate that game as much as I did, because I thought that was absolutely amazing. So, well played here to Zerg. Well responded. The Zerg in me did have to cringe a couple of times at, you know, a few things that may have been very obvious, right? But, of course, being the observer of the game and not being in the heat of the moment, we can quite easily make these judgments calls. But I actually really like the way Zerg ended up completing this match. Awesome to watch. I hope you enjoyed watching it as well. Once again, if you've got an amazing, crazy game that you want to submit to me, it is replays at LowkoTV. So make sure to submit your replays right there. Other than that, if you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button, and I know you did. If you made it to this point in the video, I think you did at the very least. And while you're at it, you can of course subscribe as well as follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I would really appreciate it if you do. But anyways, other than that, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I will see you in the next one.